started here. Welcome to my Web University free education videos. You're welcome to watch our videos on YouTube or mywebuniversity.com. If you go to YouTube, you are welcome to click on any of these videos and watch it. On this session, I'm going to open up a command prompt and show you a few commands with Windows, the Windows operating system in this case. Let me just make this screen a little bit bigger, so it is bigger in that sense. And then what I'm going to do is the command, I think the screen is big enough, so I'm going to type in system info to get the system information about this, telling me that this is Microsoft Windows. I can use the scroll bar to move up and down from this, so I can see the list of the output that I did. Or I could have just typed in 5 more after this information and see the output, such as an example, system info and 5 more. So this is system information for Windows operating system. I can read Microsoft Windows 10 as my operating system, and I have about 16 gigabyte of memory. So if I do a find/I for memory, and grep for memory, I meaning that skip the sensitivity, so ignore the case, and that would get it. Similarly, if I go to get the model of the processor, it tells me that I have a 3.1 gigahertz AMD 64-bit processor. And if I just want to see for example, the memory I got, the OS name, I can get the OS name saying that it is Microsoft Windows 10. So at this time, I can also run from this command here, system info, or not system info, Microsoft info 32. This is another utility that opens up. It tells you that you're running system Windows 10 operating system, and you have about 16 gigabyte of RAM and physical, and all that information is revealed the same way that we got from system. Here also I can clear my screen on the Windows by typing CLS, and then I type in directory to get a list of the current working directories. I'm on the C:users Wahid. So if I just want to get some help on this one, and I could type in help, and then it could give me information on everything. So help 5 more, you can see associate, attribute, break, every command that is 200 commands listed there, you can get a list of them. You can also type in one of the command, like for example, copy /?, you will see that syntax for that, all that things, or move command /?, or just type in help and then move followed by move, or help by typing by xcopy. Whatever is the command, you can just type in these commands and get a list of them by doing it. And we can run all these commands all day, and it will still not be finished. But the idea is that all you have to do is type in help here and then 5 more. And then once you get the list of commands, you can write your batch script, or just write it from the command line, like echo, dir, delete, date, copy. All of those ones are just basically very simple command. Like path, it gives you the path of the system, all the binaries that you're running. For example, you can see I have Python version here. So if I just want to say, go ahead, Python 3, just show me the version, I can do that one and say Python 3 -- uppercase V would reveal the same thing. If I type in Python 3, then it will get into the Python interpreter. And if I want to get information about the Python license, I can type in license here and read more parameters, or Q for quit. And then for copyright, similarly, I can get the copyright information for the Python. And then if I do dir by itself, that list of the built-in functions and annotation, the doc, all these double underscore magic methods, we call it magic method or double underscore method are available. So if you want to just look for example, just create a string called name, and then you say Wahid Dullah Lutfi, and then another string name, channel, and then we say my web university free educational videos, and then we can just also type in the URL. Let's get the URL from Google, and then we just say google.com, and then we search for the URL, and google.com, sorry, I missed the C in there. So you could search for my web university free education videos YouTube, which is already in the list. So I could click in here, and this will take me to the website where my channel is on the YouTube channel. And this is the URL that is showing here. So I'm going to copy this URL and then go back to my list here, Python. While that one is loaded already here, you can see that brings our main page. And then this is my Web University Free Education, that you're welcome to watch all these videos, and then subscribe, and then like and dislike. If you make a comment, that would be great, so I can improve it as your needs are. In this case, if I just look at this one, then I put a URL for my channel, and then I just paste that URL here. Then all I have to do is say, okay, let's say the word welcome, I'm going to just define W as equal welcome. And then now I could just use Python to just welcome you to my Web University channel, and then write some notes. So I could say print, and then say, in this case, I'm going to say W for welcome, and then we put comma, and then the word is, since it is my Web University for Education, I'm going to put a plus symbol, and then I'm going to put a space here since I don't have a space on my Web University, and then plus, and then I say channel, and then put another plus. Plus is appending it, like concatenation those strings together. So I'm going to put those ones, since those ones are kind of like variables, I don't have to put them within the string like shell scripting. But since it's defined with those variables, I'm doing it now. I'm going to do this statement, channel, and then welcome to my Web University there, plus let's just do another plus symbol, and then new line characters. And then if I just do that one, it just says welcome. I forgot the two, so I could just add in a space here, welcome, and then two. And then that would say welcome to my Web University Free Education videos. And then now for this one, I can also add another string here next to it and say comma, and then I could say please. And so it's going to go next line. So please subscribe to our channel at, and then we just put a plus the URL name. So this URL name is here, and then a space URL there. And then that would say the second message, please subscribe to our channels at this location. And then that would be there. So if I just cut and paste this location, I can just open it up at that location. And then another time is like, for example, let's just import another Python module, since we are inside Python, to see if we can open and read the content of this module, this URL in way of just like if I just open it on the browser here by highlighting it, Control-C on it, and then just go on the browser here like we did on the other one, we could just paste that URL here and just do it. So now notice that on the browser it happens. It is going to open that URL, that My Web University YouTube channel, which is this one, My Web University Free Education YouTube channel. So you're welcome to watch it, but at the same time, let's come back on the Python script. I'm going to close one of these ones. We don't need to have two duplicates. So I'm going to come back here on the Python script and just do another thing. We could just say, let's do this, import OS. So I'm going to say os.system. I'm going to clear my screen first. So this one clear the screen, but there I have downloaded these objects already, channel name and other ones. So I already have the URL. So I could just say import request. If I have the request module, I can do it. Otherwise, I have to pip install it. So let's see, the pip request was there. So dir of request has all these methods and double underscore and methods, and then all the exception, then the connection error, all those ones, and then the functions and SSL, utils, and everything. So there's one function, and here is get. If I just say help request.get, this one will just tell me request with S. I missed the S here. Request.get, and you can see that it is saying that give a URL name followed by some parameters, and you are able to connect to it. So in this case, I'm going to say response is equal requests.get, and then put the URL name here, which is the URL that we already have. And then this will just give me the URL. If it was any errors, then this R would not respond back. Now, dir of R is all the kind of headers, JSON, text, and everything that's available. So now if I say R of the URL, just shows me the actual URL that I'm connected. R.status code, it will tell me that's 200, that means successful. So I could say R.text, show me the text, and there's actually all the windows are showing in the, all the YouTube videos are showing here that I have here. And so you can also do a R.content to see the, like in bytes format. So this is like in a format. You can also capture information here. So remember, dir of R was telling us that you have all these ones, R.json, R.headers, for example. I can just look at the, let's say os.system. I'm going to clear the screen again. And then I need to put the CLS inside the code because system is taking argument as a string. So now I say on dir of R, you can see that one of them is R.headers. One of the information that I can reveal from it is R.headers. So this is just basically a lot of things you can do with Python scripting and programming, and then get the data and get it. So if I just change the URL to something else, let's say I go R is equal request.get, and then I just want to get data from mywebuniversity.com or google.com, I can just get it. So here all you do is, for example, for Google, you could type in HTTPS because it's secure port, www.google.com, and then that would just get the www from google.com. Now R.OK is also okay. R.status code is also 200. If I just change this google.com to some character that is mismatched, like this, that doesn't exist. Now notice that get request.get is not responding. It's trying to reach to that website, but that website is invalid website. So then as a result, it will not, R.200 would be a 400 or error. So if the website is down, then you get a 500 error. So different status code means different things. 300 is redirection, 200 is okay. So this one is taking for a long time. It's just maybe because it is getting somewhere there, but I'm not even able to control C out of it because it's still yeah, eventually it failed. So it does say that I did not find such a thing. And then on all these lines that it was trying to connect to the poll connection, .py and other ones were not error out. What is nice about the Python, it does all these function calls and solve the socket and connect and everything. Whenever it fails, it just comes out with the proper message. So apparently I just press the Control C again rather than just doing it. So it is just still waiting for a little bit to do it. So I'm going to just open another PowerShell command, PowerShell, and that's we look at the nicer interface here. While that one is going on, we could just say, I could kill the process of things here. So I could say get dash process, and then I say where object is Python 3. So we looked at the process, the where object, we're gonna just say $__name equal like, and then we look for Python 3 because that's the process that we had started. So I'm gonna say Python 3 start and then get that argument. And now notice this is the argument. So since this one Control C could not do it, I could just do this one and then say stop dash process, and it will kill that process, but it did not force it. So let's see if we can do dash F for forcing it. And it's still not seeing it. Okay. Okay, actually it was already killed. So when we did the stop dash process, that killed it. And if I just run this command here to say, okay, did you actually kill it? Let me just see if you are seeing this report, then you can see that that process is stopped. So another way, if a process is stuck here, let's say I open up a notepad here, and a notepad, and then I do some work here, and then this is a test, and then at the same time leave this window here on the corner here, and then just open another one, say MS Paint for paintbrush. And so this one is, I'm not going to do anything, and just let's just change the color to green, and then we just make the color let's see, on this one we are going to do dark green, and so we did that right there, and just to see that we modified it a little bit, and we're gonna resize this one and leave this one on this other corner also, and near the near the notepad. And then we just also open up another process and call it, let's start the process from a PowerShell. We say start process, and then start process, and then we say calculator for calculator. And then we just start that process, and the calculator comes in. We add some numbers, 9 times 5, and then we get 45, and then we just leave it there. And we haven't stored anything, but we resized it, all these 3 here. So let's just minimize this one to this screen so we can see all these other window, and there. So on this one, on the command prompt, I also want to run clear screen here, clear screen, and then say Python 3, and just sit there and don't do anything yet. So I'm going to do dir of, dir command of this, and just to say what is there. And let's just have this command prompt here, and just resize this one also here. So now I have a number of window, that the Python command, the notepad, the paintbrush, and then the calculator, and then the notepad is here. So let's just open these three, and then we just see how we're going to find this process. So right here on the PowerShell command, I'm going to just move it up to right here. So that way we can just see everything else. And then the browser, I'm going to close this browser. So we see these ones here. I'm going to move some of them next to each other. That way it looks a little bit better in the way they look. And I think that's good enough for now. And then I'm gonna clear my screen here, and then I'm gonna say, let's find out the process for Notepad. We're gonna close that Notepad process first. And in order to do that one, I'm going to say get dash process. And Linux and Unix, you can do a top and htop and pstat and a lot of other commands that I could show you, that you can do it, and then pkill and kill and other commands to take care of it. But on PowerShell, you can do the same thing that Linux does, and then using git process, stop process, and all the related commands here. So get that dash process, if I just run it by itself, it lists all the process that I'm running. But I want to just say get dash process, and then I say the where dash object. So where object is similar, there's an alias for it, is where, the short form. So I could say where, and then $_ which is the variable that's pointing to the main fields of that get dash process. And one of the field is name. Then I say the symbol like or equal. And then in this case, I say notepad. So let's see if there's a file called notepad, and it will just be a notepad itself here. And then now I can kill it by the process ID number, or I could just use this parameter. I already found out the process, so I can pipe it. The piping symbol is that bar, and then I say stop dash process. So the output of this command, which is this process with the process ID of 7668 that identified this process, it will just be killed by it. So I'm going to just say stop dash process, and then have focus on this session, and then press enter, and that notepad is gone. Now I just press the same command, there's no notepad anymore. So let's just look at the next one, which is the calculator. So we just go look at the calculator. If I look at the calc and then a star, that would just find out calculator. But if I say, instead of like, I say equal, now calc star doesn't find it. So I have to type in exactly like calculator. That's the name of the process. So the equal sign is kind of matching a string by a string, but the like is a matching wildcard. So you can do star and then match the rest of them if you don't have to worry. But it is better to just identify the right process. So if you're running multiple sessions, you have to identify which one is the one that you want to kill. You don't kill somebody else calculator process that, or 2 of them or 10 of them. So now we get rid of that one. Let's move this one here. And then at the same time, we are going to just kill now this one for the calculator there. And then we can also use the Python command to get rid of these process or spawn process. So like, for example, here, if I just say os.system, and then I just type in calc, now the calculator process will start. Is not defined. So import os first, then run the os.calc, and that would just spawn a calculator. So now I have another calculator. Then I just run this command here. This is spawned from Python. I can just do the same thing here and say, find it, and now go ahead, kill it. and now that one is done. Similarly, if I just start instead of calculator something else, like for example, let's just run bitwise. The bitwise actually is not showing up here, so it did not understand bitwise from the command because it might not be on the path. But I can do bitwise.exec, and if this is not a command prompt, I'm going to just see if I can open up a Windows command prompt or CMD itself. And yeah, the CMD open inside this. Now I have that CMD open here. So I could just type in exit here and then go back to inside Python. Another one you could do, like, for example, you could say Notepad or WordPad or Microsoft Word or Excel. So if you have Excel or Word, you could say Excel here, and then that would open up Excel. But the problem is whatever command works here, you have to type in. Excel is the word, not double L. Let's see if I can do the Excel here. And then you can say Excel is not recognized as the command. So it OS.system does not understand that one as a command. And then you have to be in the right path of it to do this one. So if I go here, say, show me the path, and echo $, percentage path, that is Windows command, then the path is there. So whatever is the path of those programs, you have to provide the full path. Otherwise, the Python is not going to just get it from the just the path where we are on the current working directory. But if I'm just here and I type in dir command, that command is going to run because that's a built-in command from the, it does not have to be on the system and there in order to do it. So let's just get rid of this and also this Python program. So in this case, I'm going to use the get process and then just look for MS Paint. MS Paint, and then I put it all in uppercase and it is still found it. And so I'm going to still find it. So stop dash process, and then that did the same thing. Now let's just find out the Python 3 and then stop it at the same time. If I just don't do a stop after this, it will find it and then it says, okay, that's the one. Now I'm gonna say stop and dash process. It will just stop it there. So now I'm done with that one. I can just exit out of this PowerShell and I could just, you see the actual bitwise, when I did it inside Python, it opened bitwise. So I could SSH to my web university using this bitwise, but that would be a separate session. I'm going to do that one. So the command prompt also, this is the command prompt that I opened it, so I can just resize this one because this one is that is clear screen, and then run the dir command. So just coming back to my website, let's just tell you that you're welcome to register and then subscribe. And this is the video that you want to click on to just watch it. It's 1 minute and 31 seconds. It shows you about all the languages, programming, shell scripting, and Unix, Linux, like C, C++, Python, Apache, web server, MySQL, Solaris, Ubuntu, Rocky, everything that I'm having these videos, more than 142 videos. You're welcome to watch them and then enjoy it and learn it and have fun. I hope you have a great evening. It is 11:30 at Pacific Standard Time in Southern California. I wish you all the best. Take care and enjoy. Have fun. Good night.